I have a few little kitchen tricks that I want to share with you that have made my life a little better. So I'm just going to kind of get into it. First of all, okay, anybody who has coffee filters, these can be used as to literally wipe things. You can wipe a lot of things with these things. At one point when I was in a hotel, I had forgotten my little rags that I used to take my makeup off with, and these things worked really great. But they can be used for a lot of things, for absorbing. Also, you can put them on the bottom of like a strainer. If you've got something to strain, you know, the little metal strainers, you can put this on the bottom so nothing goes through. These things can be used for a lot of little uses. Don't just, they're not just for coffee. They have a lot of good uses for them. They're even good to dry your hand. If you have hands, if you have nothing around real quick, they dry your hands. So these are good little things to have around. Also, all your honey bottles, okay guys, don't just throw them out. If you don't want to keep them, recycle them please. But these can be used for so many things. Don't just throw them out. Plus they're cute, because the way they look, the little bears. So these little honey bottles, you can put, like I put, once in a while I like to have my cinnamon sugar on my toast. And so you mix your cinnamon sugar, put it in here. It's all, and since it seals tight, well, it's always stays fresh. You can, like if you buy big amounts of herbs, you can put them in here and mark it on the front there, and they're just kind of cute to have to store stuff in. Plus you don't have a zillion different kind of containers. You can actually get a little collection of, different type of containers, a set of bears, a set of whatever. But these I love. And you can, like to take to the table if you don't want to have a great big old syrup bottle. Put a little bit in here and you can reuse these. These are cute. I really like these. So these can be used for a lot of things, guys. Okay, same goes for, okay, any old lotion bottle, okay? Um, they have a lot of lotion bottles come in, or lotion comes in really pretty bottles. Okay, this is just kind of your basic, but wash it out really well, and they're big, get the bigger ones. And you know how you go and buy the big old bottles of dish soap? Well, you take them out of those bottles, put them in here, and you have a pump, so you don't have to be, lifting your bottle to pour it in, whatever brand you get. And these work out great because they hold a lot, so they last a while. I hate those little ones that you get. They're just so cute and what have you. But you have to keep changing them out, and I get so tired of that. So they have some really pretty bottles that you can use, when you're done with your lotion. And they last forever, so another recycle type of thing here. And they're steady, they're nice and steady, they're solid. So these work out really well to use like for your dish soap. So try that, guys. The other thing is, my son got me out of using paper towels because it's a waste of money and goes to the landfills and what have you. So I started, I would, like, you can go, I usually have a bunch more piled up, but you can go, like I said in one of my other videos, you can go to Walmart or all these little dollar store type things, get a whole pack of these inexpensive dish rags or towels, any kind of little towels like this, and you use these instead of paper towels. And not only do you save a lot of money by not literally throwing your money away with those, but they really absorb well, of course. And by the way, never, ever, ever, ever use softener on any towels or anything that needs to be absorbent, because the wax that coats the fabric to make it soft will keep them from being absorbent. I've run into that in people's homes, and it drives me crazy. So if your towels aren't absorbing, don't be using sheets or the liquid softener. They destroy the absorbency. But anyway, getting back to this, you use these instead of paper towels, and it saves a lot of money. These absorb really well. You just throw them in one big wash. I have a basket in the utility room. I just throw them all in there, and then when I have a big old load, enough for a small load, I wash them. I always use bleach to kind of sanitize them. And they last forever. I've had these for I don't know how long, so I'm not wasting money on paper towels, guys. And it's nice to have them there just to, dry your hands too, instead of using your dish towels that you actually dry dishes with. Sometimes that can get a little unsanitary. So these are kind of nice to have around just to dry your hands while you're busy making a meal or something. You keep reusing that one. You got, of course, be careful with cross-contamination. We all know that. So, but you know what I mean. They're nice to have, and you save a lot of money with, not throwing paper towels away, guys. I like to save money. And here's another little trick. And when you make mashed potatoes, which I don't make often anymore. That's once in a blue moon. But when I do make them, the problem you have where they get cold. They just seem to get cold so fast, and you get frustrated. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting the rest of the meal done, and then the potatoes are cold and kind of gooey and ugh. Well, number one, never mash your potatoes with a mixer because it makes the starch turn it gluey. It makes it get gluey, that gluey glop. Always use a masher, a good old-fashioned masher, mash your potatoes with. And then to keep them warm while you're busy doing everything else without cooking them all over again, because when you reheat mashed potatoes how they get kind of gooey, you fill a pan like this, whatever pan you got, fill it with water. No, not fill it, but put a good amount of water, and you're going to have it boiling. Then you have your potatoes in whatever pan you've got. You put it there, and you also, you put a little, I don't have a big enough lid, or maybe it will be. And then you put a lid over it, okay? So you've got your potatoes in the top pan. It's like a double boiler, sort of. And you have the heat on low so that it's just simmering the water to create, the steam. And it just keeps the potatoes nice and hot without cooking them. They stay fluffy and nice. It's a really good trick, and the top keeps the moisture in the potatoes. So you might want to try that to keep those potatoes warm. It really works well. You can do that with other dishes as well, not just potatoes, but it works really well. Another one is, how many times have you had to, I don't know, make a dish where you needed, a bread dish where you only needed a small bread, how they've got this size, and then they've got the little small ones, but you don't have a small one, so they're like, boy, great, what do I do? So you get some foil like this, okay? This is gonna kind of be a rough draft here, but you get it to fit the inside of the pan. I will show you. You get it to fit the inside of the pan like this, okay? To however, what size you want, but it makes like a half of a pan, of a loaf. And you have to be sure that you tuck it down really well so that it's, level at the bottom down there. And you've got like this little barrier is what it is. It's a barrier. And you make sure that you get some more foil to kind of tuck behind this little area here. Like this. You put it in the back here, kind of like a support system. And then you have your little foil like this. And I'll show you. And you can see that you've got half a loaf here. You pour your mixture in there, and when it cooks, it comes straight up. You got to take the time, a little time. It doesn't take much time, but you make it neat. And then your bread, you've got your little loaf, and it comes out perfect. I've done this a million times because I cook just for myself. And when I do make some kind of a bread or, a sweet bread or something like that, banana bread, and I don't want to make a whole loaf, I do this. And then when it's done, you just pull out the foil, and you've got your little loaf over here, and it comes out perfectly. So that's a really good little trick, and of course you can always reuse this or recycle. But there you go, guys. That's a real cute little trick I discovered out of necessity because I didn't have a little loaf pan. So there you go. Cute, huh? And another one is, how sometimes you need to, you have a recipe and it says to put little pats of butter all over the top, and you're sitting there cutting these little, pats of butter, and you get one that's too big, a blob that's too big here. It's always a mess. You're just trying to, put your butter for, about 15 minutes before you're going to use it in the freezer. And then I'm going to show you a little trick that works fantastically. You get your butter stick, okay? And then you use this side of the cheese grater. You see this side here where the little cuts are. You get this, and then I'm going to show you. Maybe I'll need to tilt this down here to show you. Let's see. I will show you. Whoops. Right here, you go up and down really fast, and you got to be fast. Make sure the metal container is cold too. Put it in the freezer. You be fast, and voila. Guess what you've got? You got a bunch of little pats of butter, little things of butter that you can just drop all over whatever meal you've got. You just drop them all over. They work out really great. And if you do it real slow, if you want, say, just a few pats, and you do it slow, you get bigger pats, okay? You can get, and they're all the same size, see? So you save yourself all that little silly chopping with a knife trying to get that butter just right. And then you have all these nice little bits just drop all over. Boom, boom, boom. So that's just another little trick that I use, and I love it. It works really, really well. So anyway, guys, that's just a few a few little tricks that I wanted to show you that have made kitchen life a little easier for me. So you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you later. I'll think of something else. So I love talking to you guys. I really do, and your comments and everything have been wonderful. You just make my day. So have a good one. Bye-bye.